So this is a little different setup, but before I begin anything, I just want to say this video is not meant to be a brag. I don't make like a crazy amount of money. I'm not trying to say that like, oh, I became rich and now I know everything. No, far from that actually. But I can say that I've made a comfortable amount of money that I can make a video about this. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any numbers. But to begin this video, I think it's best to just start with the obvious things. You know, like, okay, if you have more money, then what can you do with a lot of money? Well, this allows you to buy more things for your everyday life. So that'd be like getting haircuts or buying higher quality foods, or even just things like skincare, like taking care of yourself and all these things, right? And obviously, if you're taking better care of yourself, then you're going to look better and you're going to feel more confident and you're just going to feel better. It's a positive feedback cycle. That's the obvious things about money. But how about we talk about less obvious things? So I'm going to start with confidence in repairing things. I actually made a video recently about working with your hands and why everyone should get their hands dirty. I'll link it down below. It's a great video. But in that, I mentioned two examples: working on my car and working on my Joy-Cons for my Switch. But specifically, I want to talk about repairing and fixing things on those things. So here's the thing about fixing things. If you have money, you don't have to be stressed about repairing those things, which means you're more likely to try and do those things on your own, which in turn actually saves you money. So with that said, let's use my Joy-Cons. Repairing Joy-Cons is like a job that would scare a lot of people, you know, like taking apart little small electronics. It's not something that people really look forward to or even want to do at all. But basically, it costs like 100 Canadian dollars to replace Joy-Cons, which is just absurd. But these little sticks only cost like 20 bucks. So I'm like, okay, I'll just repair them. Like it's fine. If I break it, I can just buy new ones. Like it's fine. I have the money to do so. But when you don't have money, these little things like that, like if you screw something up, you're out 100 bucks, you gotta buy Joy-Cons. And if you don't have the money for that, that's gonna suck. So with that said, I can just move through these repairs with confidence because I know that it's fine. If I screw something up, I can just buy a new one and repair it, or well, not repair it, but you know what I mean, right? It's easy. I just don't have to worry about the stress of that stuff. And I'll take repairing cars too, right? Like when I'm working on my own car, like, okay, if I break a part, I can just replace it. Like that's the thing. Basically what I'm trying to say is when it comes to repairing stuff, if I screw something up and I break it, I can afford to replace it. And that's a luxury that I now have because I have money. Okay, I hate saying that out loud. I'm not trying to say that I have like a ton of money. I'm just saying that if something were to go wrong, then I have expendable income for small things like that. Like obviously if my car were to just get destroyed right now, I wouldn't exactly have just like 10K to spend on a brand new car or like a used car even, but I at least have some money that, okay, you know what? We're not gonna go like bankrupt trying to replace things. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, obviously with this whole thing about saving money, like, you know, buying a new car, more money is just more savings. This is just like an obvious one. But because I live so low, like my actual day-to-day expenses are really low. And because I have really low expenses, saving money is not the hardest for me. And again, I am in a very fortunate position. My rent is really cheap. I just like don't really have many expenses, but also that last part about expenses, that's my choice. I choose not to have a car loan. I choose not to have any debt really. And like if I can't afford something and I can't pay for it in cash, well, I can't afford it. But the thing is that a lot of people, well, they don't really look at the total cost. They'll just look at the monthly payments. Like I'm not even kidding. The only debt that I have right now are some student loans, and one, it's not even that much debt. It's like 4 figures worth of student. It's not like a crazy amount, but the thing is that it's 0% interest. A 0% interest loan, that's, I mean, I'm just doing minimum payments forever because why would you pay off a loan that's a 0%? Like, you know, I'm not gonna go like super into it, but like if you have a 0% interest loan, that is like amazing. Like there's no point in paying it off early. But still, with that said, I just have like no expenses. So I just get to save more naturally. I don't have a mortgage, I don't have a car loan, I don't have like any payments really. And then more on that is just lifestyle inflation and the fact that I'm not really falling for it. Yeah, I have upped some things in my life, you know, like I'm spending more on higher quality foods. I can afford to buy nice things here and there too, but the most important thing is that I can actually afford it. You know, like it's in the budget, I'm still saving money, and that's all I could really ask for. And if you want to know more about like lifestyle creep, lifestyle inflation, whatever you want to call it, I actually did make a really good video about it, and it's like really nice and edited and everything. It was an older video, but I'll link that one down below too, because I think it's just really good if you're interested in like the financial side of things like this, like especially lifestyle creep. It's a good video. And another thing about having more money is just lower stress when you move through your day-to-day life. So let me elaborate a little bit. I'm basically just like more confident in my day-to-day choices because money is not like a huge factor when it comes to things. And this has actually had a huge impact on my relationships in a positive way. The thing is, money can be a huge strain on any relationship ever, just because if money is an issue, like it doesn't matter who you're hanging out with, whether it be your partner or your friends or your parents, even family, whatever. Money can strain those relationships if not really used correctly. So if you're able to alleviate some of that, even with just a little bit more money, like it's amazing. And to get into more detail, let's say you want to get some lunch with a friend. Okay, lunch is like 20 bucks, right? Like, I don't know, I'm just throwing out a number. If you can't afford that, that kind of sucks. You kind of have to ask that friend like, hey, can you just like cover me? I'll get you next time. Like, it's just something that I don't really have to think about anymore. And it's not that I even have to ask, like I can just pay for people's meals and it's just something I don't think about. Like if I'm gonna go get a coffee with a friend, like get a bubble tea, whatever, I'll pay for your drink. It's fine. Because I know that a lot of my friends are just not in the financial position that I am. So I can just move through those like little situations without even really thinking about it. And it's a huge help to a lot of people. To me, it's not big of a deal, but to other people, it can mean a lot to them. And that is what really improves your relationships. At least that's what I think. I don't know. This is all my opinion. I could be completely goddamn wrong, but I feel like I'm at least a little bit right here. But yeah, earning more money has just made me confident in like my everyday life. And I think everyone should at least strive to make a comfortable amount of money. Not like a crazy amount. I'm not saying that you got to be like a millionaire or something, but just make an amount of money that you can be comfortable living your day-to-day life with, where you're not having to worry about where your next dollar is gonna go. Basically, you just want to be like somewhat thriving and comfortable, but you don't want to be surviving. That's a good, comfortable place to be. Like where I am right now, I would say I'm very comfortable. I'm not saying I'm a millionaire, I'm not even close, but like I'm happy. I make a good amount of money, I can do things that I want to do, and what more could I ask for? Now this is a bit of like a side topic, but like if you want to go to school or you want to like start a business and you want to make a lot of money, like do it, right? But ultimately do it because you want to do it and not because someone told you to do it. Not because some internet guru said that like selling online courses or doing some like social media marketing, whatever, like, like if someone told you to do it, then it's probably not for you unless you actually genuinely enjoy that. But I'm just saying if you did, you would already be doing it. But if you are happy where you currently are, specifically like financially, I don't think you really have to hustle any harder then. You have to learn that you can make enough and you can just take it way too far. And I think money is one of those things where it's really easy to take it too far because, well, there's no like limit. There's no goal that like is set for you. Like if you want to make like $1 million, okay, cool, right? But like, why? You got to ask yourself, why do you want to make this much money? I think that's a good question to ask because it's really easy to just go way too far and like basically let it take over your entire life, and it's just not worth it. Have a goal, stick to it, and just enjoy your life. Grinding can be good to an extent, but if you're actually doing it and just wasting your whole life away and you're like, yeah, you're maybe grinding for something good, but if it doesn't actually bring any happiness and you're not enjoying it, then well, what's the goddamn point? Also, I think I just gotta iterate right here is that I am not trying to promote hustle culture. Like if you want to make more money, like I'm trying to, tell you to make more money and be comfortable, but I'm not trying to tell you to like hustle and grind for like 12 hours a day and then you hate yourself and then like, you burn out and no, like no, don't do that. But if you're earning enough where you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck, you can save a lot of money and you can make sure that debt is not eating you up, I think you're in a good spot. I think honestly, you don't really have to work that much harder unless you want to get to your goal slightly faster, like paying off debt. But overall, like if you're able to actually get to your goal with your current income, that is sick, man. Like more power to you. Not only that, but you're probably doing better than at least 80% of people. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, well then you're just in like the 50 or 60% of the population that's also doing that too, which is insane, but it's how we are, man. Like it's a shitty thing, but it's how it is. But if you're in like that 20% who is able to live comfortably already and you're watching this, then well, you already know that money makes you more confident. It's the whole theme of the video. Okay, now drop a like at this up.